All right, guys, we're back with the second episode of this podcast, and this one is with an extremely interesting personality, Nikhil Jain. Hey, Nikhil, how you doing?
Hey Pardosh, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining me for this, Nikhil, and an extra special thank you for the patience because I've rescheduled this a couple of times, and you've been so patient with the rescheduling, and we've finally made it. Yay!
Yeah, no, it's all right. I am glad we could make the time, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Absolutely. All right. So those of you who are listening or watching this, let me first introduce Nikhil to you. Now, Nikhil is from the 17th batch of the Master Networking program, and he's one of those rock star students of the program, participants, if to be more accurate, who have been awarded the 100x certificate, right? And Nikhil, has achieved 100x return on the investment that he's made in the program in under 1 year. That's amazing, Nikhil, and I'm looking forward to talking about how did you do that. But before we get to, I quickly want to introduce Nikhil to those of you listening and watching this, okay? So Nikhil is director with Nipra Industries Private Limited. Now they're in the business of manufacturing bottle closures. Now this word closure has an interesting history with me. It took me nearly 6 to 8 months to memorize this word. I kept thinking bottle caps, but it's not just caps, it's so much more, right? So Nikhil is in second generation business. Nikhil is a second generation entrepreneur, and his company manufactures bottle closures, which traditionally people less aware like me calls caps, for wines, alcohol companies, pharmaceuticals, olive oils, and some of the brands on which you've seen Nikhil's products include Sula, Bacardi, Smirnoff, products from Pfizer. Sorry about that. Okay, and here is something interesting about Nikhil. In the past, he's been DJ, etc. He doesn't do that anymore. He briefly told me about that. But his passion lies in adventure sports. He is a high altitude trekker, a full marathon runner. Yeah, there we go. Right. Another big adventure that he deals with on a daily basis is that he's got 2 beautiful daughters that he's a father to. And he's got another daughter, Novi, that's a bitch. How old is Novi now?
She'll be almost 2 years in a
2
few
years
months.
old, right? 2 years old, right? That's them. And he's also married to a superwoman who's a clinical psychologist. And this is so interesting. She's also in high altitude trek with you, Nikhil.
Yeah, she is.
Right?
We've started our journey together, and yeah, we've trekked together.
Right. Cool. The secret to happy marriage: enroll your wife into whatever you do. All right, cool. So Nikhil, we are on a 10-minute window on this, and we're already 3 minutes down. So I want to come straight to the question. 1 year period, 100x return. How did you manage that? The idea here is we want to draw the core learning out so that people who are listening and watching this can understand the power of networking and how to do it right? So over to you, spill the beans for us.
Thanks, Pardosh. Thanks for the lovely introduction. And over to your question on how the 100x return came through.
Yeah.
So there were 2, let's say, focus areas that I worked on at my business. One is there were our top clients. I was already dealing with them on regular basis when I was doing the business pre-MNP, if I were to call it. During the program, let's say the concepts that we brushed upon and went about as to how to focus on your top clients, how to do GIVC, show genuine interest and create value for them in their lives. Those things started to happen. And I focused on that, especially for the top clients, and saw an immediate change because we were maybe a participant supplier at some of these companies, and then we became the leading supplier. So
wow.
Yeah. So that happened in the course of the MNP program in the past 1 year. And the other thing that happened, so that's the first. The second thing that happened was I started to have similar dialogue with my sales team. And they were also managing their set of client accounts. And although I didn't impart all of the MNP training as yet, it's still under progress. But I did.
Yet, I love that. Yet,
yes. But I did go through with the conversations on GIVC And they also started to see results in some of the key clients that they were managing. So all in all, put together, existing client business gave us this growth. So that's also something important to note. It's not that we went and got new business. It's
Wow.
additional business from the existing clients.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah. And what
Wow.
is really amazing is we were still in the so-called pandemic period, right? I mean, this is still, second wave coming down in
Wow.
India, and then Omicron hitting us, and we went through a tough phase in the initial period, with Maharashtra having tough lockdown rules, and we still were able to manage to
Yeah.
push business in these fronts.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that is so amazing, Nikhil. So this is what I'm hearing right now. I'm hearing that this is largely credit to taking care of relationships with the existing clients, one. And two, what I absolutely loved about in your conversation is passing on the learning to the people, making it part of the company culture.
Yes.
Right. Okay, cool. What else? Is there anything else around this? You got the learnings from the program, right? Yeah, go on, please.
Sure. So one more thing that we did was, since we had the chance to interact with other batchmates who were on Monday power calls. So we used to have these interesting 5:30 a.m. Monday power calls where we would get to have interaction between about 3 batches across. So since we were the youngest at that time, we had 2 earlier batches on the call with us, and we were able to network with them. Now, during one of those power calls, I asked some of the teammates on consultants who could train our team in marketing, on marketing skills and enhancing marketing skills. I remember this was earlier in my program, so we had still not covered the spin concept on spin selling. And incidentally, there was Benher from an earlier batch. He recommended a marketing consultant who we then got on board, and he went through a 2-month sales training workshop. He conducted a sales training workshop for our team specific to our need, and covered concepts like spin. Even before we had brushed it at MNP. So that also kind of worked out. We are now also. So it was not just the training that we imparted, we also did an evaluation of the training, and we were able to see some very positive results from there too.
Tangible. Wow, amazing, right? So Nikhil, this is so interesting. This conversation is so well timed. We just covered the same sales aspect in our current batch, right? Just a couple of days ago, right? And in this, we refined it a little more than what we'd done with you, and we broke it down into 2 parts. This time, the entire focus was around that the best way to sell is with a combination of authenticity combined with strategy, right? And this is exactly what I'm heading. In the part 1 of our conversation, you said that, hey, it was genuine interest value creation, taking care of the clients, etc., and which was the authenticity, being real with your customers. And part 2 was the strategy, which is the methodologies that you're talking about.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely amazing. Right. Okay. So guys, we are 1 minute from closing. These are short 10 minutes session. And so I want to summarize what Nikhil has said. Okay. So number 1, please understand, Nikhil is not just all work, no fun Jack, right? Makes Jack a dull boy. So Nikhil is not a dull boy. So this is so interesting that he's keeping his mindset and horizon open. While he's working hard, he's playing hard. This is so important for growth. Okay. We've discussed this at several stages, that how exercise creates neuroplasticity, creates more brain cells, makes you smarter, etc. Tremendous advantage. So one key takeaway from Nikhil right in the beginning. Then top clients is the way, focusing on your clients is the fastest way for business growth. A lot of people have this myth out there that you can go out, meet new people. Yes, you can, you should, you must, but not at the cost of ignoring your customers. And Nikhil, you've done that so beautifully well, right? Guys, notice that Nikhil said that it brought an immediate change. From one of the participating vendors, they became one of the preferred vendors. Right. Immediate change was the term that Nikhil used. Okay. Then he made the learnings part of the culture. It is no point that you're learning and that learning is not being passed on to your people. If that is happening, you're becoming the bottleneck, right?
Yeah.
And number two, leveraging the power of your network. This is where Nikhil was referring to, talking to Benor recommending someone, bringing in training. And most amazing part in that, Nikhil, is you said it so simply that, hey, it wasn't just theoretical, we measured the impact of the trainings we did for the team.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Absolutely amazing. Right. Cool. Right.
Thank you.
So Nikhil, we have, no, this is amazing, truly. We've exceeded our time, but I want to stretch it by 1 minute. Okay. So
Sure.
tell me, those who are listening to this or watching this today, right? People who are investing their time, effort, money into learning and development and looking to create results, what will be your number one advice to them if they want to get to 100x of their investment?
I think the number one advice that I would like to share, something that you also talked about in our program, is we need to act and act without waiting to be perfect. So if we keep waiting for perfection, then action is delayed, and delayed action is delayed results. So just act. Whatever is the outcome, just go with the flow, but keep pushing. That's the only way to get fast results, and results, in the direction that you want to. So just act. Don't wait for perfection.
Pretty strong words of wisdom. Very, very deep wisdom behind that. Right? Knowledge and wisdom. Difference, knowledge and action is wisdom. Yeah. Amazing. Absolutely, Nikhil. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking this time. Right. I'm looking at doing this with you 1 year down the line.
Sure.
Right. To track again in this 1 year now, that program's over and you're on your own, where's the journey led you?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and take care. Bye-bye.
God bless.
Thank you.